What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? The Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe to all the YouTube videos. Hit that notification bell by the subscribe button. Let's get it popping. Oh my gosh, man. We got some good games to talk about today. I know I missed y'all a little bit, but we back in action. If y'all can hear me, go and put that thumbs up. If y'all cannot, let me know in the comment section. I'm just going to put that in the comments real quick so I can put it out there. 1 second. It's my first time doing it, y'all, so y'all got to bear with me. All right. Until somebody says they can't hear me, then, I'll go ahead and start. But, man, we got some good things to talk about, you know what I mean? Play for keep. What's up, my guy? Hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we got some good things to talk about, bro. Hey, but hit that. If you hear me, make sure you can hear me. If y'all cannot hear me, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, you know what I'm saying? But let's go into it, bro. We got a few games to talk about. We're going to do the finals, semifinals recap of these last games, as well as get into the pregame predictions of the Golden State Warriors in Milwaukee or in the Memphis Grizzlies in on about a couple hours. I'm going to let y'all come into the live as well so y'all can, chat up with your boy. So let's go into the first game we're going to talk about. Just happened moments ago between the Boston Celtics and the Memphis Grizzlies, man. Hell of a game between these two powerhouse teams, Eastern Conference. Milwaukee's in the third seed, Boston's in the second. So, you already know it's going to be high impact. It's been high impact the last 3 games. So, let me know what y'all been thinking about this series, man. Again, if y'all cannot hear me, let me know in the comments section. But anywhere else, let me know y'all comments what y'all think. Play for keep. What you think of this series, man? They won on the tip. They won 103-101. I'm going to be real with you, man. I did not watch this full game entirely. I had some other stuff going on to do all day, so I ain't had a chance to really watch this game. But best believe I'm going to replay this game, later tonight. But I did catch the last few minutes of the game between the two, and I saw the stat line between Boston and Milwaukee. Basically, they both shot pretty poor from the field. They both shot pretty poor from the field. Both shoot under 40%. God dang. From the 2-point, 3-point, they shot under 30%. So only thing they shot well was the free throw line. So that's not good, but that just tells you it was a high impact defensive series, which is expected between these two. Yeah, bro. Drew Holiday is doing what he's supposed to do, man. I'm gonna talk about him in a little bit. But going into this game, before I even get to game 3, going into this game, I said to myself, Milwaukee's going to feed off of this crowd. In Milwaukee, they're going to feed off this crowd. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to shoot as bad as he did in those first 2 games. He's going to be more aggressive, be more productive, and that's what he just did with the 42, 12, and 8. The Greek Freak showed up like I knew he was going to show up because of his will. I told y'all, this is not going to be the same series as he was against Kevin Durant because KD's a finesse player, right? KD was not going to be able to impose his will on that Boston Celtics defense. Let me give a shout out to the Celtics defense. I understand why they are so elite. You got a bunch of wing defenders. You got Marcus Smart leading the charge at that point guard. You got Jason Tatum, who's a good long defender. Jaylen Brown, who's a scrappy defender. Al Horford, Grant Williams. You got some guys who can lock up on beat, right? And that was what was bothering Kevin Durant. But unlike KD, Giannis plays with more of a dominant presence. And people like that, man, you cannot. You're only gonna be able to do so much, right? Again, if y'all can't hear me, hit me. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section y'all can't hear me. And plays will keep you right, bro. Drew Holiday hit the last shot from Milwaukee. That that little teardrop. I said with the absence of Chris Middleton, other guys gonna step up. And to me, I feel like Holiday has always been underrated. Not just on defensive end, but offensive. Defensively, I think he's the best defensive guard right there with Marcus Smart. Offensively, I think that he can get buckets, man, between 20 and 25 points. He's just as efficient. He's very smart. He almost got called for that 3-point shot with Marcus Smart. That I thought that was an and one, but thank God they only counted for 2 free throws. But that almost cost them that game. What's up, Cam Dudley? What's good with you, bro? Yeah, Drew's big time, man. He's definitely big time. He's solid. He's a vet. He does the dirty work. So with the absence of Middleton, they're gonna have to need all from Drew Holiday. So yeah, tonight, bro, game 3. That's what happened, and I'm gonna definitely catch that game later. They're gonna make sure they're gonna need some more production from their 3-point shooters though, between Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, Grayson Allen. He didn't have no points. So game 4, basically, what I'm thinking is gonna happen is the Bucks. I think they can win game 4 just because Boston did everything they could for this game. But it's going to matter if these other role players to come up big. I don't see Giannis doing what he did tonight because that defense is just too solid. And as great as Giannis is, he's going to need the help of his teammates. So that's what I think about Boston. I got them winning in 6. If you guys did not see my last videos, y'all can check them out. You can hear me talk about what I think is going to happen in the series. But next, bam, we got the Miami Heat. Know what I mean? Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers from last night. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me, right? All right. Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. I watched this game a couple of times on my DVR. And from what I've seen, number one, well, let me start with this. From the series, we ain't talked about the series really much. So I'm going to talk about what happens in game 1 and 2 for both teams. First off, the Philadelphia 76ers in the first 2 games, you know what I'm saying? We all know the few troops. Let's get into some troops. Tyrese Maxey's their second best player. I said Tyrese Maxey is their second best player. Anybody in here disagree? Let me know in the comment section. But Tyrese Maxey is the Philadelphia 76ers' second best player. Why? Because he's the most consistent next to Joel Embiid. Better than Tobias Harris, better than Danny Green, better than DeAndre Jordan, better than anybody else on that Philly team. Tyrese Maxey has been the second most consistent player. Actually, you can make the case he's been the most consistent. He's been the most consistent because why? He doesn't. Number one, he's very composed. He's available, and he plays within his means. And he does what he does well. He exploits. I think this kid's going to be an all-star in this league. He's only in his second season, and I think the Sixers. It was a blessing in disguise. What happened with Ben Simmons? Sixers fans need to be thanking Ben Simmons, because if Ben Simmons was still there, you would not see the greatness of Tyrese Maxey. I watch a lot about players, body language, their competitiveness, their coaching ability. I watch all that. Y'all remember I played ball, so I can read between just more than the box score. I can look at the fullness of a player and see where he's going to be. And Tyrese Maxey wants to get better. He's very coachable. Play for keeps. You know what I'm saying? I love that kid's game. I love his mentality. So he's the second best player. James Harden. James Harden of the Houston days is no longer here. But I got some good news for that. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Because while he's not the same player from a scoring mentality, he's still a great facilitator. James Harden gets his players involved. Off that pick and roll, he's been able to get Embiid a lot of open shots. And we're going to get into Embiid in a minute. But what Harden does do is he facilitates the ball. He's able to get his teammates open shots. And last night, giving him credit, I saw him be more aggressive getting to the basket. The first 2 games, Harden was very, very stable. He wasn't really get off. He wasn't able to really score except for that step back 3, which I think is kind of, long gone. It's actually taking his team out of rhythm. It was more Tobias Harris in those first 2 games with Tyrese Maxey. But I saw a different Harden last night. I think we need to be at peace that he's not going to be putting up 35, 40 points. That Harden is gone, but doesn't mean he can't use that facilitating factor and also be aggressive at certain times to benefit the Sixers. And the last thing with the Sixers, I got to give shout out about Joel Embiid, what he brought to the table. While he did not score a lot of points and he was very inefficient, you're talking about a dude who just came back from an orbital fracture in his eye, a concussion, and not to mention a finger that's going to need some surgery in the offseason. So what is Embiid showing me? Embiid is showing me why he's the MVP. Joel Embiid showing me why I think he is potentially he can be the best player in the league if he's able to lead this team past Miami. Let me talk about Philadelphia without Embiid. Those first two games should have showed you why he should be MVP. This whole season has been showing you why Joel Embiid's MVP, and this ain't nothing but a blessing because we kept hearing stuff about Jokic, we kept hearing stuff about Giannis, who are good candidates, but Embiid has been the most consistent all year. Philadelphia is 18th in the league in scoring, 29th in the league in rebound, 21st in the league in assists. What does that mean? Basically, with Embiid being the leading scorer in the league, Philadelphia still is number 18th in scoring. So that means what? He's not getting enough contribution from his guys on the scoring end. Let's talk about the reboundings. He averages a little more than 10 rebounds a game. You would think that they would be better than 2019 in that category, which tells you what? He's not getting help on the boards. And if you look at their front line with DeAndre Jordan, Andre Drummond, that makes a lot of sense. 21st in the league in assists. You know what I mean? So that means what? A lot of his shooters are somewhat streaky. You had Steph Curry for a portion of the season, but guys like Danny Green, Georges Niang, even Tobias Harris throughout the season were very, very streaky. Embiid put his heart on sleep. Yes, he did. You got to give credit where credit's due, man. Joel Embiid, just to him being out there with them injuries should show you how much he wants to, help his team win. But let me hop off that and go to Miami and tell you what went right and went wrong. The first two games in Miami, let me tell you something. Miami did not keep their scoring depth last night. What I'm talking about is Miami, to me, next to the Clippers, is the deepest team in the NBA. This is the number one team in the East. And a lot of their success came from sharing the ball, outside shooting, toughness on defense, and great coaching. That's where their success comes from. And those first two games, they showed it. They fed off the crowd. They were hitting outside shots. I think their top 2, top 3 in three-point shooting, and their top 5 in defense. So you got a bunch of, guards who can defend, from Kyle Lowry to Gabe Vincent to Jimmy Butler to PJ Tucker, who's a 4, Bam Adebayo, who's a 4. Tyler Hero can defend somewhat when he was at home, but you didn't see much of that because of what Joel Embiid coming back to the series. I think that threw them off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? My man, Soccer Updates, man. Appreciate the love, man. What you think of the series, man? You can type in. You always welcome in here. But basically, what I was saying, they went away from that last night. Bam, Jimmy, Tyler Hero, Gabe Vincent, PJ Tucker all had double figures in those first two games. In the last night, it was only Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero who had double figures. Jimmy had 33, Tyler Hero had 14. And Hero's points kind of, to me, were inefficient, and they weren't really he wasn't getting off like he was the first two games because of the pressure by Tybalt and as well as Tyrese Maxey and the length of Joel Embiid. So a few things that Miami needs to do for the next few games. They need to find a way to get Joel Embiid away from that basket. Embiid, what he is basically, man, he was making Miami Heat shoot a lot of mid-range shots, as well as their guards were pushing them, towards, a lot of three-point shots. If you guys paid attention, when Embiid subbed out, you saw Miami being more aggressive getting to the bucket. You saw Miami looking to crash the board more, especially in that third quarter. They got to find a way to get Embiid out of that paint because that's pretty much their whole defense. So again, I read those team stats to y'all earlier. They're very, very vulnerable without Joel Embiid. So a few ways you can get Embiid out that paint. Miami, early transition offense. They got to be able to, get a lot of fast break points because Embiid's a center. It's going to be a lot of work him, getting up and down that court. So put a lot of more pressure on them in a fast break setting. If you got an opportunity to score a fast break, go for it. Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, go on the fast break. That's when you get your points. Use Bam Adebayo, bring him away from the paint, bring him out on the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? Make Bam be on the 3-point line more, and have Embiid have to try to recover back on help side defense. Pick and roll action, of course. Have Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, put Embiid in the pick and roll situation. But I just think, again, the big thing with Miami, they just didn't make shots last night. And that's why they lost. So I think they'll do better. I just think the overwhelmingness of Embiid with being there is what kind of, hurt them. But let's go into the next game, actually. Let me see about this one. We got the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks, you know what I mean? Hit that like button, y'all, if y'all in the stream, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love. This one was an interesting game. I saw this game last night, too, a couple of times. I had to watch it again. First off, and I'm going to let y'all in the chat. If y'all want to go ahead and, talk with me, y'all can also, I'm opening the chat line. I'm putting the lines for people to come in and, talk with me a little bit. So basically, the Suns, they ended up losing last night 94-103 in Dallas. In reality, to me, the game could have really went either way. Dallas pulled away more so in the second half because they were just hitting shots at the right time. Neither team, if I look at these team stats, neither team really shot, all that great. Actually, if you think about it, Phoenix shot better. They shot 46% from the 3. Dallas shot 33%, and they shot 44. They both shot 44% from the 2, and they shot better from the line. So that tells me a lot that they also had 45 rebounds over Dallas' 36. The assists were 23 and 25, but Phoenix had 17 turnovers to Dallas' 8. Dallas had more personal fouls. They had, 19 fouls to, Phoenix's 14. So if you look at this, just the team stats, that's how I look at it a lot of times. The team stats went more to Phoenix. So I'm like, how did they lose this game? If they shot the ball better, they rebounded better, they had around the same amount of assists, they had less fouls called. So what did it go wrong? Well, if I look at the individual numbers, I seen what happened was basically Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic had a better game than Chris Paul and Devin Booker. The duo of those two went off with the score, and that's what gave them the edge. Point blank, period. Now, let me get into some, analyzations. What y'all think of this series, man, the Phoenix and Dallas series? What y'all think of the Phoenix and Dallas series? Y'all got some comments on the series? Let me know, man. Let me know. Let me know. What y'all think, man? What y'all think? Let me know. But like I said, if I look at the comments entirely, man, the first two games, Luka's Doncic defense, what the Suns did, they exposed his defense. Chris Paul, Devin Booker exposed Luka Doncic's defense, made him work on the other side of the ball. So that in itself kind of made it harder for Luka, and it took the momentum away from Dallas, especially being in Phoenix. I told y'all, role players play better at home than they do on the road. And that's what you saw from Jalen Brunson. They limited him to 9 points in game 2, but he had 28 points last night. A lot of that fed off the crowd. So a lot of times you may be in situations where the crowd may actually help a certain situation or a certain player, and that's what they did for Jalen Brunson. You didn't see that in Phoenix. Jalen Brunson's a nice player, but he's not on that level where he's just able to just kill whenever he wants to kill. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I look at it, the thing about also I look at too is they use the length on Luka Doncic. I talk about the Suns, talk about analyzation for the Suns. The first 2 games in Phoenix, they actually used their length. They had Bridges on them, they had Crowder on them, they had Johnson on them. That was able to somewhat rattle Luka Doncic. And if you're able to rattle him, then you'll take away a lot of the Mavs' cornerstone because they go as Luka goes. And this is why I kind of have a problem with Luka's game is he's too ball dominant. He would be so much better if you would learn how to score off the ball and let other guys eat first. Like Spencer Dinwiddie had 4 points last night. That's worse than his second game. He's getting taken out of the series. And they're going to need him here on out if they want to have a chance because they don't have Tim Hardaway Jr. I forgot. They don't have Tim Hardaway Jr. One of the reasons why Luka, I think, had more success with Hardaway is because he's more of a catch and shoot type of guy. Not to say Dinwiddie's not, but Dinwiddie gets more of his shine off that dribble and off that handle. Max Kleber, he's having a good series because, again, he's a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He had 14 points last night. Dorian Finney-Smith, 14 points. Reggie Bullock, 15 points. All catch and shoot players. But a guy like a Dinwiddie, a guy like a Brunson, you got to put the ball in the hand and let them eat too. So that's what really kind of gave Dallas the edge, not really just Brunson and Luka taking over. What I see from here on out, man, I think Phoenix will win game 4 and close them out in 5. I just think Phoenix is a better team. You look at the Suns side, Devin Booker had 18, DeAndre Ayton had 16, Mikal Bridges had 12, Jay Crowder 19. So their leading scorer was Jay Crowder. So Chris Paul did not go off like he did the first 2 games. Again, they didn't expose Luka Doncic's defense. When you're able to isolate Luka Doncic, you somewhat take away his value on the court, but you got to put that pressure on him over and over and over. Reggie Bullock did a great job on Chris Paul last night. I think that's what kind of rattled him. But then that's what other guys have to eat. This is where your depth comes in. If you're Phoenix, this is where you're able to expose Luka Doncic's defensive flaws. So I'm going to open up the lines in a little bit, but let me go into my last prediction, man. I'm going to put this in the chat. Again, this is my first time, so y'all got to bear with me. I'm going to invite y'all into the live. All right. I'll invite y'all into the live so y'all can come in here. One second. All right. Anybody want to chop it up with your boy, let me know. That's going to be the StreamYard right there. But let me talk about this Golden State Warriors as well as the Memphis Grizzlies, man. We're going to get into this one too. Got to talk about these two right now. Listen. Memphis, they had an unbelievable performance by Ja Morant. Obviously, in the first 2 games, Memphis had the home court advantage, and Ja Morant, it was Ja Morant's show in game 2. And if I look at those 2 games, game 1 starting off, I thought Golden State, I thought the refs were somewhat getting Memphis a lot of calls they shouldn't have been getting. I thought that Memphis was basically able to, do what they wanted to do. The fouls being called on Golden State, I feel like a lot of them and missed calls were kind of hurting them throughout the end of the game. And they still prevailed. I thought that last layup by Ja Morant kind of showed his immaturity. Rather than pulling up on a pull-up shot, he went and rushed for a layup, and he didn't even hit the rim. So I kind of been consistent with Ja saying he's not a superstar. He's an all-star. He's a guy that, brings a lot of seats in the house, but he's not a superstar, not just yet. You understand what I'm saying? So that will come, but right now, no. You go into games 1 and 2. Steph and Klay have not been shooting the ball well. Klay hasn't been shooting the ball well all series yet. I think he shot 6 for 20 in game 1, and I think somewhere around the same in game 2. Just missing the shots like Klay usually hits. So if I'm Klay Thompson, I'm going back home in San Francisco at the Chase. I'm very, very excited because I know I ain't gonna shoot that bad again. Same thing with Steph Curry. He shot very mediocre. Combined in game 2, they shot 16 for 44 from the field. They're not going to do that again back in Golden State. So you lose by 5 points, 101 to 106 in game 2, with Ja Morant going up for 47 points. Gary Payton Jr. getting hurt the way he got hurt. In my opinion, my thing is this. If I'm if I'm the Warriors, GP was my best defender on Ja Morant. But now I got Andrew Wiggins. Now I got, Jonathan Kaminga, give him some more minutes, as well as, they're going to have, I think, Andre Iguodala's going to be back. So you got guys who can, somewhat make it tough for Ja. You ain't going to stop Ja Morant. But there's ways you can make it somewhat harder for him to be effective. So you got to be able to use those strategies. You know what I mean? 1 second, y'all. 1 second. One second, y'all. 1 second. All right. So, yeah, Golden State, first of all, they got to hit shots back in the crib, and they got to be able to play defense. They got to have a way to somewhat stop Ja Morant. If not, then it's going to be problems for the rest of the series. Memphis, what they did well, of course, they brought energy the first 2 games, but they weren't able – they have been missing a lot of outside shots in game 2. They got to be able to control their emotions, and I don't see how they're going to be able to shoot with Golden State in these next 2 games in Golden State. So they're going to have to somewhat try to muck up the game and just take it from there, man. But I got Golden State winning this series. Man. And my thing is they're going to win in 6 based off their experience and their 3-point shooting. So anybody want to jump in here, man? Y'all free to jump in and you can get it going. I'm just going to hang out for a minute, let y'all, cook. Nobody want to come in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to shut it down. So. Nobody want to come in. I'm going to shut it down. Somebody want to come into the live, man, you can come in, hit the link. Let a guest to come in and talk. Want to talk about any of the playoff games, you can be free to come talk to your boy. Hit the link. Anybody want to come in, man? Chop it. I'm gonna shut it down a little bit. If somebody want to come in and chop it up with your boy. Now to drop in. It took a minute for me to figure it out too. Hit that comment section, that like button. All right. Going once, going twice. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to shut it down. I will be back tomorrow. I'm supposed to be having actually a special guest tomorrow by the name of Coach Chad Bell of the LA Clippers. If y'all know, first of all, personal development coaches. If y'all don't know who those guys are, those are the ones that put players day in and day out. So I will actually have Coach Chad Bell from the LA Clippers tomorrow on the show. I'll have him, you guys can talk. Y'all can, basically jump in the comment sections. I might even have one of y'all be able to talk to him personally. So we're going to get that going. And yeah, man, y'all have a blessed night. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull out. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.